Hi friends, this is Nagesh. Welcome to my channel Informal English with Nagesh. Hi friends, today I'm bringing a video um, that has conversation about the newspapers. So in one of the sessions I had a chance to talk about newspapers and yeah, it was a good session. Many people talked about the topic and I could definitely learn something out of it. I would also mention a couple of things I have learned from that session so that it can be helpful for other people. So when it comes to topics, we should be able to speak at length. So which means that you should gather all your ideas to talk about. And not only that, you should make proper use of grammar and also present in a way that it is more natural and also has all the phrases, idioms and all. In daily conversation, I don't stress on that part, but if you are looking to take any IELTS or PTE test, it is very important to present the topic in a precise manner, because you are given only 2 or 3 minutes time. But in today's video I have taken about 5 minutes time, but you can compact the topic and your thoughts and all, so that it can easily fit into that 2 or 3 minute window. Thank you so much. The topic that was given to us to talk about 2 minutes is all about the newspapers. How do we usually get the news, and also whether I read the newspapers on a daily basis, or how frequently I read the newspapers, and also what kind of news do I usually follow, and how do most people get the news in my country, and also do I think that international news is important. So it was a lovely conversation having about 8 to 10 people. So I had my chance to talk about this topic, but unfortunately at that time, due to some problem, I don't know what happened. So my voice wasn't recorded while I was talking. So that's why I just want to reproduce the same content I talked about in that conversation. So usually we get news from various sources, televisions and newspapers, and also by word of mouth. So these days, we are getting a lot of news, even in digital platforms as well, and in social media, Facebook and YouTube. So there will be live streams that are organized by news channels. So that is how we are getting news these days. And how often do I read newspapers? So I'm not an avid reader. Um, so I don't usually read the newspapers, but I'm kind of habituated to watch news in YouTube, or in online, any online platform, especially during these extraordinary times. So I was following the news about COVID, on how we are progressing in combating the COVID, especially in Victoria, Melbourne. So yeah, and what kind of news I follow? It's a good question. So I follow sundry news, regarding, maybe it can be movie news, or it can be political news sometimes, but I'm not a political um, follower, but just read the news sometimes. And other than that, I'm a technology oriented person, so I do follow technology news, and about new gadgets and features of the electronic gadgets, something like that. And how do most people get the news in my country? So um, yeah, usually in olden days, the old people or the older generation, so they used to read a lot of newspapers. So that is how they could understand what's going on, what's going on in and around their um, place, or maybe in neighbor countries and all. And but coming to the younger generation, I personally think that they are not following newspapers anymore. They just they just got obsessed with these online platforms and social media. So that is how they get their news mostly. And do I think international news is important? Yes, I do believe that international news is very important, because it gives us a chance to understand, understand about other countries' cultures and what's going on in other countries. It need not be a political news all the time, but it can be any news related to culture and festivities, and also sometimes natural calamities information as well. In that way, if you come to know any hurricane or cyclone or tsunami, that affects people in other country or the neighbor countries, if we get that information, probably we can take precautionary measures, so that we can avoid huge destruction that could have that could happen otherwise. So I do believe it's very important for everybody to be aware of what's going on in and around. Coming to the learnings part, I had quite a few learnings from this session, from the other people, like being consistent across the communication. And also I learned about one idiom, under the rock. So, which means that if you are unaware of what's going on in your surroundings, so you are literally under the rock, meaning you're oblivious. And also coming to my own demerit points, I would definitely mention that I used a lot in my conversation, so which is not good, which is kind of acceptable in normal day-to-day conversations, but in PT and IELTS test, you should avoid all these fillers as much as possible, and then only you can get higher scores. And also there is one more phrase or sentence used by one of the members, like catch the attention. So that was kind of captivating the audience. If you use such kind of phrases or sentences, so you will leave a good impression on the interviewer or the other person who is listening to you. So yeah, she used in the context that these news channels are making big headlines, shocking headlines, to captivate people, or to captivate viewers. And in that context, she used that, they caught the attention of audience, by making big headlines. So yeah, it's all about my learnings. Hope there is something that you can learn from this video. Thank you. If you find this video useful, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.